Today, I'm going to demonstrate Orca Slicer's modifiers. Some of these modifiers will allow us to have different settings such as different infills and the number of walls on the same print. I'll also show you how to use the modifiers to add or subtract areas on a model without leaving your slicer. This video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay does much more than printed circuit boards and assemblies. They also offer 3D printing, CNC machining, injection molding, and much more. Currently, PCBWay is running a big Christmas sale with as much as 50% off for printed circuit boards and assemblies. You can participate in the free prototype for Christmas theme designs simply by adding the keyword Christmas 2023 in the other special request field on the instant quote page. Check out the PCBWay website for details and submit your project and get an instant quote now. I already have Orca Slicer started and a file to work with loaded, so let's get going. I'm Bill, and this is Pushing Plastic. Okay, so I have this simple little box, and on the bottom, the words pushing plastic are extruded upward. Well, we don't want those in this case. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of those in just the slicer. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slice. And I want to see where those words start. So I'm going to come on down and it looks like layer 15. Layer 15, 3 millimeters up from the bottom. Okay, so we have something to work with now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click my box. I'm going to right click my box, and I'm going to hit add negative part. I'm going to select cube. And the first thing we'll notice is we get this nice little dialog telling us that we got to switch to per model setting mode to edit the modifier settings, which is anything affecting the cube. If you come over here on the left side of the screen, in global mode, that's everything. Object is just what's selected. So let's go ahead and we're going to move this little cube, which is 30 millimeters by 30 millimeters by 30 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move that by dragging the arrows, and I want it to cover up the words pushing plastic. Just move it the best I can. And then I'm going to go ahead and scale, make sure uniform scale is off. That's just the way I like to work. I'm going to stretch it out. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reslice. What we see now is a nice big old hole in the bottom of our box. We don't want that. We just want to get rid of the words pushing plastic. Anything that intersects with that cube is what is going to be affected. So we already know that the words are 3 millimeters up from the bottom. So what I need to do is move that cube 3 millimeters above the surface. So I'm going to click that cube, which is no longer a cube. I'm going to hit my move. And you can see where it's negative 10. Well, that negative 10 is actually to the center of that cube. What I need it to be is, well, I need it to be negative 7. It was negative 10. So what that did was it moved it up 3 millimeters. And now when I go ahead and I slice it, there we have a nice smooth surface. The words are gone. And again, it doesn't have to be letters or words. It can be a cylinder that's sticking up there, a pyramid, anything that's sticking up that you want to get rid of. Doesn't even have to be sticking up. It could be sticking out, anywhere, anything. Whatever you want to get rid of, add negative part. That's all there is to it. So let's keep moving. And let's go on to the next one. As you saw, removing areas of a print from an STL is pretty painless. Let's take it a step further. Okay, so this time what I have is the same box, but this time the words pushing plastic are extruded down into the bottom. So we're going to fill that up. And it's almost the same process. It's just as easy. Let's click on our box, and we're going to right click. We're going to add a part this time, and I'm going to stick with the cube. We got our 30 millimeter cube. We got our notification about the per model settings. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start covering up the words pushing plastic. Not like that though. If you want to make sure you're on the cube when you're grabbing the arrows, if you miss, liable to do like I just did. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scale. Stretch him outward, and I'm going to stretch in the X and Y directions. And there we have it. Now, if I slice right now, what we did was just added a big giant rectangle inside of our box. Not what we're after. I need to make sure that this top surface is flush with the top surface down here. So let's go ahead and go back to prepare, and I'm going to click on the cube, and I'm going to move that. And what I want, we know it's 30 millimeters tall. So what I'm going to do is change this to minus 37 because I want the top flush. And there we have it. And if I slice, no more words, they're all gone. We'll extrude that, we'll go through the layers and make sure we have nothing that we shouldn't. And there we have what we wanted. Now, if I go back to prepare and I grab onto the cube, and if I would have set that to say 36 and I slice, you'll notice we have this little part that's sticking up out of it. Not what we're after. So I wanted to make sure I was right at 37. If I come back and I try to move that, and let's see what happens at 38. Notice at negative 38 we're going to see part of our text. So 37 is the golden spot. And that's all there is to it. You would slice, print, and you got your perfect box. No text on the bottom. That was pretty easy. Let's move on to something with a little bit more substance and manipulate more areas. All right, so I have a few parts here on my build plate. This here is a rotary latch that I downloaded from Thingiverse. The designer is Mariko Martins. So Mariko recommends 25% infill for everything. I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I'm going to come in here on this part, and I want this top area to have, let's go with 60% infill. So I'm going to come down and select right click, select add modifier. I'm going to stick with the cube. We'll get our standard dialog box, and I'm going to go ahead and move that cube so it covers that area up. Now I can go ahead and I can scale this, move it, whatever I want to do. As long as I cover the area I'm working on. Anything that intersects with that yellow area will be affected. So I have that changed. I'm going to come over here on my left side of the screen, and it's showing me my frequently used commands in this particular area is the infill and the number of walls. I'm going to change this to 60. And let's go ahead and slice and see what we get. Let's cut down through. And there you can see we have 60% infill over here, 15% there. Now I'm seeing this little nub area up here, and I'm afraid that might break off during operation too. So let's go ahead and change that while we're at it. Just click your part, right click on it. We're going to add a modifier. I'm going to go with another cube. We'll get our standard dialog. That can get annoying, but like I said, I prefer to use it myself as a reminder. Let's move the cube. And I can also go ahead and scale that. And I'm mostly doing the scale just to keep it off my other part. up above it. I'm going to move this. And I'm going to go with 60% infill here as well. So let's slice the plate. And you'll see now we have 60% infill. If I wanted to, it's not helping us a whole lot with that little bit of extra infill. I could go back to prepare and I could bump that area up to maybe 70 and we'll reslice. It's a little bit better, but maybe we would be better off if we just increase the number of walls in that area. What do you think? So let's come in and let's just increase the walls to 4. I'm going to take the infill back down to 15 and let's see what we end up with. There we go. That looks a lot better. It's going to be a little bit stronger in that area. I'm good with that. But now let's go to another part. And this part over here, that's going to see a lot of stress as far as I'm concerned. So let's go ahead and let's add a modifier to this. Let's stick with the cube. And I'm going to move it. I'm going to scale it. I'm going to cover up the whole part. Let's move it again so we get the whole part in there. I'm going to leave it at 15%. I'm going to change the infill on this one to, say, 25%. But I want 5 walls. Now let's slice and see what we got. Okay, so we got our 5 walls. Good. We got the infill we want at 25%. On our original part, we still have the extra walls. We got the 15% infill here, the 70% over here. And if I come down through a little bit deeper, you'll notice that we're at the original 15% infill here. Now I can go ahead and let's just add walls to this part right here. Just this one circle. So let's go back to prepare. Let's click on this part. We're going to add a modifier. And I'm going to go with the cylinder this time. We'll get our warning. I keep saying warning. It's not a warning. It's just a notification. I'm going to bring that over. I'm going to try to center it up the best I can with just by eyeballing it. I'm going to go ahead and scale it. Recenter it just a little bit. Now, notice this time it's floating above it, and that's because of the way I did my scale. So not a big deal. Just grab it, drag it. It doesn't matter if it's sticking through the bottom because it's not going to print anyways. So let's leave the infill for that area at 15, but change the number of walls to 6. And we'll slice. And there we are. So what we are getting now is we have 3 parts, different changes. This part here has 3 different sets of settings to it. This one has 2. This has 1. Well, 2 if you look at it differently, depending on if you include the original infill and the original walls. But this just goes to show how we can change different parts on a model without actually redesigning or going through a modeling program. We're just using the modifiers in Orca Slicer. Now, I've only touched the surface of what you can do with Orca Slicer's modifiers. You're pretty much limited by only your imagination. Experiment with the settings. Slice it up. Go ahead, make changes, check the preview, see what you can do. Like I said, you can save time and material by slicing with your modifiers without compromising the print or the quality. I hope you found the information in this video useful. If you did, Hit that like button and let me know down in the comments. I'd like to hear about it and any ideas you might have to apply these modifiers. Smash that like bell so you'll be alerted to new content in the future. Live your life one layer at a time, and if you haven't done it yet, please consider subscribing.